Hi guys, welcome back to the stream. Doing another challenge run today. It's going to be secret minions only. So I'm just going to configure my game, we'll jump straight into it and I'll get into the details. Right, I think that's good. Double check the other settings as well. Hey dude, how you doing? Let's just get started. Right. So in today's challenge, we're basically only going to be allowed to summon the secret minions in the game. There are only 2 of them that we can obtain, but we need to collect quite a few other minions first before we're able to get them. You basically get them as a result of... Normally you fuse a bunch of minions and your result sort of looks a lot like the minions that you used. Like they either use the same posture or they share textures or whatever. But the secret minions just fully replace whatever you had before with a new minion. Yeah, it's going pretty well. Staying busy. So we're only going to be allowed to use those minions in this run. It does mean we have to get to at least the spider forest first before we're able to get any actual minions summoned. We're going to be capturing plenty of things, but we're going to have to use Levant to capture all of them, which is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Rick Hetz has run away, has he? He's run off, you know. It's all hearsay. It seems as if he was stolen by a Nagi woman, and he ran off. His son is still so young. Too young to become a cocoon master. Run away, will you?
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt him. Yeah, so we have to get to the spider forest before we're able to capture... Sorry, before we're able to use any minions at least. And in practice, that's probably going to look like we're just not going to have our minions until the Moth Forest. Which is quite a lot like the 80% run, except normally we only capture... Well, we capture 2 minions, but one of them's for free, right? No, you don't. There's no danger in that fight. It's just the starter. So we aren't going to be able to use them. We are going to be allowed to use seals purely because we have to defeat Kikinak. And Levant getting into a fist fight with Kikinak is just going to take ages. It's not difficult. It just takes a long time because you'd have to capture a bunch of minions to get lots of extra health, or healing items, I should say. And it's just not fun, so we're going to use seals for that fight. We aren't going to use seals beyond that point though, for the sake of the challenge. Since we're using secret minions, we're also bound to, since there's only 2 of them, we have a water one and a fire one. We can't get air minions, we can't get earth minions. So Delphinel is going to be a bit tricky. Especially considering that the first one we're going to get, which is the fire one, is what I would say is definitely the weaker of the 2. So we may end up actually using the water one to try to kill Delphinel. The only problem being that if Delphinel actually decides to use any magic, it'll be a major problem for us. But the damage output would actually be probably higher against Delphinel despite that, so it's going to be a bit tricky. I definitely prefer the water one, but it takes even longer for us to get the water one. The earliest we can get that one is when we start the Dark Beetle Forest. We have to complete the Moth Forest for that, so we're going to have to use the fire one for the Moth Forest at the very least. Fight the poacher. Yeah, there's a lot of issues that can arise. from the fact that we're using these specific minions and nothing else. I don't think killing the poacher will be too difficult. We may need to slightly overlevel our secret minions, the fire secret minion. I also have to remember what things to capture. If I forget what things to capture in order to make the secret minions, then we just won't be able to get them. I could look it up, but I kind of don't want to, really, because I'd feel almost inauthentic if I looked it up at this point. Yeah, the way you'd normally actually find out how to get these minions is there's a random chance when you defeat an enemy that it'll drop a stone tablet, which will it'll give you a clue on how to get the minion, and there'll be 2 of them, obviously, 1 for each minion, and it just describes the attributes of the secret minion, and then you have to find minions that match that description, merge all those things together, and then you get the secret minion. I also don't know what level they are when we capture them. Sorry, when you fuse them. I think you always get 1 extra level. So if they would be level 9, for example, when you fuse them together, then you get a level 10. And it doesn't matter what element the base minions are. As long as they match the description, it will just be outright replaced with the secret minion, and it will become fire. Even if we used purely air elemental minions to make the minion, it'll just switch to fire, or switch to water. So I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. I haven't exactly practiced this at all, obviously. But we are going to have to spend a fair bit of time in the beetle forest because we're going to need 4 paddle chews. Strictly speaking, we only need 3, but I kind of want to make 2 of each secret minion for the sake of safety. Make it a little bit easier. Alright, you have seen in the random minion run, we actually encountered both secret minions. You can only have 3 at most, so it's more that I want to be able to switch. I want to be able to have 2 of one of them, so I can have 2 of the fire one and to beat the moth forest with, and then I can use 2 of the water one and 1 of the fire one. Beyond that point, that's what I'm thinking of doing.
Your father was a noble man. Coward. According to tradition, I hereby proclaim your coming of age. Your pride from this day forward.
Shidra's actually going to be a very hard fight as well. Well, not very hard, but it's going to be tricky. Potentially, because the water minion has basically no magic defense, and the fire minion has no physical defense. Essentially. So the Kashidra water laser beam is probably going to be an issue. Unless, of course, Kashidra is nice. Well, I'd say is nice to us and doesn't use it. But if Kashidra doesn't use it, then Kashidra heals, which is probably worse. I probably do want our minions to get laser beamed. But I think that even the water one probably dies because it has no magic defense and it's water boosted environment. And the fire one dies because it's a water attack in a water boosted environment, even if it does have a lot of magic defense. So I'm going to expect us to get a death against Kashidra. At least one of them's going to die against Kashidra, but that's partly why I want 2 of the yeah, it's why I want 2 of the water one. because I don't think 2 of the fire one would actually be any good against Kashidra. Yeah, we did encounter both secret minions during the random minion run, and we actually used one of them, but it was an unobtainable version of it, and it was the bird that was the liability of the team that sort of did very little and then died, which is why I'm a bit nervous for this run, on account of the fact that it didn't do very much before it died. No, we aren't doing a Nuzlocke, so we aren't doing permanent death. I wouldn't normally do permanent death, but it's more that between the Earth boss and Kashidra, you can heal between the 2 fights if you have revival items, but they go straight into the other. Like one straight into the other. So if a minion is dead and you don't have a revival item on you, then you have to go into the next fight down a minion. Or down 2 minions, however many died. And since we're going to have 2 water minions and a fire minion, and Delphinel's Earth with an advantage against water, that's going to potentially be an issue. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a death against Delphinel as well, if I'm honest. So we're going to want our revival item drops. The fire boss can drop. The fire boss and the earth boss can both drop a revival item. And that's what we want. We'll also probably... Well, we're using seals, so we're not going to have enough money necessarily to hold on to the... We do get 1 guaranteed revival item, but in a normal run we sell it for money in order to afford our weapon and accessories and all the items we need along with that to complete the run. Especially because in the regular run you don't normally have any minion deaths, so holding on to it's pointless. It's not worthless, but it's largely pointless because the minion shouldn't die anyway. But I think we're going to have a fair bit of death. Well, I say a fair bit. I predict at least 2 deaths. 2 minion deaths. Whenever we do a challenge that's like this, there's normally at least 1. Normally against Kashidra. I mean, if we get lucky, we won't have any deaths, but I think lucky would absolutely be the word. Yeah, so both secret minions require Pattern Shoes, or Skeebs. They're the same minion, different elements. So our first order of business is going to be to capture a lot of them. We don't need anything else from the Beetle Forest. And that'll also get us to capture level 3.5. No, 3.25? 3.25, I think. Nope. We're not capturing Arpatron because we can't use him. Even if we capture him, we can't use him. So there's no point. We're also not going to be merging the secret minions after we get them. It's going to be straight up just however good the secret minions are, that's what we're using. That Patimo was a bit far forward to dodge. Normally you go backwards and forwards to reset the position of the Patimo to be further back so that you have a good shot at dodging it, and you need to switch the elements anyway, which is what that does. Every time you enter this screen, it changes the element of the minions in the screen. That one's also too far forward, we're not going to be able to dodge it. But I couldn't be bothered, so we didn't. Yeah, so we don't We don't care whether or not it's a Paddlechew or a Skeeb. It's the same thing to us. There probably is a correct answer in which one to capture because they don't share the same AI. And it's probably Paddlechews that you'd want to capture, really. Like, maybe? I don't know, really. Paddlechews will use their elemental attacks when they end up on low health, but they'll always use them. Whereas the Skeebs will, I can't remember if they always open with it, like always open with one, or if it's just random which one they pick to use. But if you don't damage the Skeeb too much, then you don't get hit by its fire attack as much, which will do less damage to Levant. Oh, is that in reference to the Patimals? We'll pick up this Slicker, because we may as well have a healing item when we see it. Yeah. We're also going to fight an optional boss in the Beetle Forest. Because they're guarding an item that I want. Granted, we only want the item because because we are going to be using... Oh, did 8 damage again. I was hoping we did 7. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna just go backwards and forwards between this room and between these two rooms. Try and respawn some Skeebs. It didn't respawn that time. Yeah, it kind of sucks for us because that's it's obviously costing us health every time we do this. Is this? No, it's a Squasp. Get away from me. That could also be a Skeeb, but it wasn't. We want to see 9 health on the Skeeb, really, when we... No, so in the... There are in the game, but you can't encounter them until the post-game. That was one of the reasons why it was so fun to do the random run. Is we didn't know which minions we were going to encounter, and there were so many more that we could encounter. Because in the regular game, it's basically you get 2 minions of two elements of every minion that you encounter, or every minion type. You get a minion that is unique to the main game. In this case, it will be the Paddlechew, which will be like the nominate species of that minion, and then you get the rest of the family, which will be the Eeb family, as it were. So that will be the Skeeb, the Tareeb, the Radeeb, and the Pateeb, which you can encounter in the post game. Just healing up there so we can capture another one. So as soon as you clear the main game, you can no longer encounter paddle chews. They just can't be encountered anymore. And they have the nominate species often, if not all of them, but we don't necessarily know about it, have hidden bonuses. So the paddle chew, for example, has it does 10% increased damage on its physical attack, or specifically on its elemental special attack. Not elemental, it's special attacks. So this skeeb actually does less damage to us than a paddle chew would, even if they have this exact same attack stats. Okay, so I've fixed part of the audio issues in that you can now hear me talk. Okay, but we're gonna have to solve this. Let's see, how do we fix this? Hang on, yeah, I mean, I think the game's just lagging out, something's gone funky. Let me just pause the timer. I'm going to save the state. Yeah. Okay, let me resolve that. So I'm going to restart the emulator, I think. If it'll let me have control of it. Right, that should... I'm hoping that if I restart it and load the state, we should be fine. I'm hoping that the emulator saved the state. That's one thing I'm worried about. It might not have. But we're gonna have to do that anyway, because that's just gonna keep chugging. Right, you see my mouse there for a second there. We'll resolve this as quickly as we can. Right, let's do that. Do this. Okay, so I don't know if that did save the state. We're going to see, because I'm going to press F3 and it's going to take me to one of my other save states, if not that one. Yeah, it's taking me to a different save state. Okay. It didn't save it, we're just going to have to start again. That's unfortunate. I have no idea what happened there. Audio just glitched down, then it just died. And was very obviously not playable at that speed. Little frustrating, just a little bit. So we'll just have to go again. Nothing else for it. Unfortunately, when the emulator decides that it wants to die on us, we can't really save the state at that point. I was hoping we might get away with it, but we didn't. Yeah, apologies for that. Hopefully that won't happen again on us. That would be rather upsetting.
Ricketts has run away, has he? He's run off, you know. It's all hearsay, all hearsay. It seems as if he was stolen by a Nagi woman, and he ran off, His son is still so young. Too young to become a cocoon master. Run away, will you?
At least that happened fairly early on and not, you know, halfway through the run. I'd hate for that to have happened while I was, you know, an hour and a half in or something. I have no idea how long this run will take, to be honest. I can't remember where my thoughts were, rather, anymore. Catching skeebs. Oh, I think it was the whole family thing with the minions, right? Yeah, it was the puddle chews would do more damage to you. So by fighting skeeves, we take less damage, and it's easier for us to get further along. And we wanted to fight an optional boss for the purpose of getting the item that he's guarding. You don't actually have to fight him. You can still get that item without fighting him. You just have to finish the beetle forest, then go back. And I believe if you do that, then the boss is no longer there. I say they're a boss. They're not really a boss. In that it's very easy. You don't need a minion. I don't even think the game planned on you using a minion to fight him. I have no idea. It's very, very easy. Alright, we are dead. We skipped through the prophet dialogue there. Or is the prophet dialogue on the next one? I can't really tell. If you mash start hard enough, then you sort of go through it without noticing it at all. So I sometimes don't notice whether or not I would have skipped it, or if I'm just mashing incorrectly. I'm pretty sure there's a bit of prophet there. A bit of prophesizing that I skipped through, which I just didn't notice. So then I wasn't ready to mash on the dialogue boxes, so I was still waiting to see a bit of white as the prophet text starts. Alright, there we go. So like there we skipped the profit text set, which would have started with the bond, and we just mashed fast enough that you never even saw the text. Not fast enough, early enough onto the sequence starting that you didn't even see it. I really appreciate that once we're done with this, with the introductory section, I don't have to mash to get through anywhere near as many text boxes, but basically the rest of the game. It kind of hurts my hand. I get sort of just start mashing without any rhyme or reason. Like even during sections where there are no text boxes, I'm just mashing just to sort of as a habit, I guess. You know, if you're constantly mashing really quickly, then you don't need to stop and start. But it's way more tiring. Alright, let's go get ourselves murdered in our dreams.
Your father was a noble man. Coward. According to tradition, I hereby proclaim your coming of age. Your bride from this day forward,
Yeah, what I think happened is my audio device decided to end itself, resulting in the emulator not knowing how to output sound anymore. And I assume that caused the emulator to sort of get itself in a tizzy or whatever, and it just couldn't handle it anymore, so it's just going to permanently lag. Which sucks for us, of course, but... I don't think there was any saving it. I don't know what I necessarily did to cause that to happen, but I assume that the connect wasn't in quite as it should have been. Oh, I apologise for that. That was my controller deciding that it wasn't in properly. So it just disconnected and reconnected itself. Don't really mind that, aside from the fact that it's a very loud noise whenever it happens. Nearly done with this section again, we can go back to capturing Skeebs. Maybe I'll try Patrol Choose this time, I don't know. Give me my supplies. I always forget this secret app. I was preparing myself to, like, menu. And I go, oh, wait a second. Not really, not just yet. Such is the problem of a silent protagonist. Not very good at emoting. Particularly when you don't actually have... You actually don't have any vocal options at all in this game at any point. You are literally mute. Which is a bit strange considering you're a, you're a person. Like, because even when you, like, talk to Garai or whatever, it's not talk about the story of creation, it's listen to, like, it's not, you're not an active participant in any conversation you have. Like, obviously he's asked for me to play through. I play the flute, that's something I do, or Levant does do, but nothing else. Like, apparently we just told him what happened. That was us telling him. Just screen fade. That was us telling him. That's what happened. I'm actually going to switch the elements this time because I want to see if I can dodge the squasps. I, of course, will not succeed, but I want to try. Oh, that one was very far to the side. I feel like it's very RNG for whether or not you can dodge that squasp. How fast it moves forwards. Because I've gone to this part of the screen, it's been in so many different positions by the time I'm over there. And there aren't significant differences in terms of how long it takes me to get over there. Alright. Back to where we were. Almost. Almost, with a couple Pathologies or Skeebs down from exactly where we were. Yeah, this guy won't use his elemental attack until he's a bit weaker, I think. I believe Pathologies also have a higher defensive stat than Skeebs. Because generally speaking, the wind minions have higher speed, lower attack. Generally speaking, wind minions have lower defense, higher speed. Fire minions have higher damage output, lower speed. Water minions have higher magic, and earth minions have higher defense. I believe that's generally how it was done. I mean, the difference is not very large, to say the least. Also, Great Wall now, that's actually a really good drop. That's gonna make saving to capture these minions quite a lot easier in terms of our health. We won't need to use our mugworts. Yeah, I believe that's how it works. But the difference is sort of think it's degrees of 10 for each of those base stats. So, Paddlechi will have, I don't know what it'll be. I want to say something like well, okay, I don't know. I want to say it'll be like 130, 140, maybe, in terms of attack. Where the Ski would have 130, then the Paddlechi will have 140. That is a guess. I'm just assuming it's roughly around there. Because I think Skeebs have higher attack stats than Patimel, which I believe have 120. Alright, we got 2 out of the 4. This one give me a squash. No, well, it'll be a Patimel, but yeah, it does the same. Okay. So we're going to capture this one. I mean, we're going to capture all of them. But then we're going to use the Great Walnut, and then we'll capture the last one. And this will put us exactly where we were before the game decided to annihilate itself. For some reason, saying the word annihilated reminded me of Final Fantasy IX. I remember the game over in that game, it didn't say game over or defeated, it said annihilated specifically. If you lost. It wasn't pulling its punches, you didn't just lose, you absolutely destroyed. Right, oh nice, 2 health. I mean, it's the average that you get from a Great Walnut, but I'll take it. Alright, this will be the last Paddlechi we need. I might not bother with the optional boss, to be fair. Because it's using a weaker weapon makes it easier for us to get minions to low health. Which we do need to do. Oh, we didn't get an extra turn that time. But it has the obvious drawback of the higher level minions that we need to capture will be quite a bit more difficult to capture with just Levant. So there's also another weapon we can get later. I don't know, I think we'll leave. We won't bother with the boss, and we can come back and get the weapon if we really need it later. Because it will be faster to just wrong warp to the end of it. I think that's what we'll do. Should be good. One Wolf is definitely the wrong name for it because you typically use that in reference to you were supposed to walk somewhere, which we weren't. We were just transitioning between screens. Hence why it's not the official name for that glitch, but it's how I think of it anyway. It's too late now, I've got the habit. I'm in the habit of calling it that, so that's what it will be to me forever. Alright, let's get some bitter mugwort. Not bitter mugwort, not bitter, meta mugwort. Sell this valerian powder. I'm gonna buy 4, use all our money because I'm going to have to fight 2 minions instead of 1. So now we need to capture 2 Heralcos. Also, it occurs to me that one of the minions we need to capture is actually very hard to catch. And I've only just realised that that's going to be a huge pain. Because I don't know if you can encounter them as a single fight, as a solo fight. Marjorie, I don't even want to capture you this time. Can you leave me alone? Yeah, one of the minions we need, the what's it called? It's the, I can't remember what element it is. It's the Hambu minion of that family from the Spider Forest, and I think you always encounter them in pairs, and that could be an issue. Right. I must defeat this Heralco in single combat and capture it. And it does more damage than I do, hence the meta mugworts. It only has enough mana to do that 2 or I think only twice, but it might have enough for 3. I'll meta mugwort after this turn. It's scaring me that I wasn't going to get another, that it was going to get a double attack on me and I was just going to die. Okay, I have 3. It's only level 4, so it definitely shouldn't have enough mana for another one. I'll get one more attack in just because. Yeah, they can get double attacks on you. Which makes the fight a bit scary. I may go grab the, actually no, I will, because it might save us a bit of health. There's the equipment that we want to fight Kikinak with also increases our magic defense, which will help us against the Heralcos. So I will go grab that. And we got a multi-seal. That's just money as far as we're concerned. We're not going to use it for anything. So this is a bit slower because I'm going forwards to pick up a piece of equipment and then going back to fight the Heralco again, but I would rather not have to use as many healing items, if we can avoid it. Yeah, so the description we have for Sherick, which requires 4 different minions to merge, is that it has a jutting jaw, which is the paddle chew, feathers, which is these Heralcos, has a barrel-like body, which is the Harmbu minions, and the last minion is... what is it? Dragon's Tail. So it's the Radugal. No, the Radgor. No, it is a Radugal. Or the Turgor. There you go. Either of those two will work. I'm gonna equip this now. So we have to capture all 4 of those minions before we can get a single Sherick. Turgor, not too bad. Heralco, obviously, as you can see, not too bad. This should be a Heralco by itself. But the Harmbu comes in a pair. And that could be quite hard. That could be a matter of just pressing the capture button and hoping. Sort of like how we caught that Frey in the magic only run. Precisely like that. Where we just have to hope and pray. Maybe hit it a couple times at most. Critical hit us. Gotta love it. I maybe shouldn't have attacked there. I probably should have healed instead. We only need 1 Metamugwort to take down Kikinak, but we will be out of healing items afterwards. Which is only a little bit concerning, given that we still need to capture 2 more minions. I think once we get to the Spider Forest, we're going to make 1 Sherick, then we're going to use that Sherick to help us make the second one, and then clear the spider, and then, you know, finish the Spider Forest. If I was only going to use 1 Sherick, like for sure, and I didn't want to be safe, I would just, then I would capture the materials for the Sherick, then clear the Spider Forest, fuse the Sherick, use it in the next forest. But once you clear the Spider Forest, if you don't have the minions necessary for Sherick, you now can never get Sherick until the post game. My apologies. Shouldn't happen again. Well, I say that. I can't really control whether or not it happens again. I would like it to not happen again. Because it's very loud. And it throws me off. Alright, now we have to do my favorite wrong warp of them all. The one that I always mess up. Come on. I really ought to do like a warm-up every time just before I get a bit early. That's still a bit early, I feel. Okay. I ought to do a warm-up every time where I just go to my save state to try the Throng Warp over and over again. Just so I don't end up doing this. It's worth a shot. I think we're still a bit too far back though. Nope, okay. Cool. We'll pick up the Dragonfly Warp because why not? We're on a tight schedule. Oh, I do need to heal myself. That is a thing I do need to do. Edge closer to this. I want the sleep spores. Gimme. The amount of space you have to pick those sleep spores up is so small. One thing we do have that's the fact that we got that multi-seal actually is useful for in one specific way, and that is it'll help us capture a Turgor. But I am a bit concerned for our health situation. Here's the kikinak double attack. I actually forgot that if kikinak crit us here and we died, the run would be dead. Well, it wouldn't be dead, it would just take forever. Like, it would be faster to start again and do all of that again than to do it the slow way. Where we just get loads of healing items and just slowly kill kikinak. I completely forgot that this run could just die on kikinak. So our remaining Agni Seals are probably going to be used in an attempt to obtain the Hambu that we need. Great Walnut. That is a very important recovery item for us. Oh, I need to ask about the Calabash herb. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to use multi-seals to get Turgor, and then we're going to use the Agni Seals we have left to try and help us with getting the Hambu. It may not help anyway, on account of it being a double fight. You know, we may just die because the minions are getting very strong compared to Levant. But we still can't use any minions yet. But if we can get the Turgor, just one, and we can get one Hambu, then we're alright. We actually have a minion. We have a minion at that point. And I would very much so like a minion. Just going to use the Great Walnut to heal ourselves. So we want this to be Earth. We can switch its element if it isn't. Cool. So we have this multi-seal to damage it, and then we've just got to. Then we have to just regular attack it. Get it as weak as we can. And it's going to do a lot of damage. This is not going to be easy. Probably gonna heal. I think. Oh no. Yeah, I was like, I swear I had a mud wall. Just one though. And I think it can use that ability again. We may need to rethink this bit, guys. Oh, it can do. Okay. Poor Levant saving us there with the block. So we may be in for a bit of a long haul here, because this thing's going to escape this capture, by the way. We may just have to keep retrying maximum health captures until we get them. Like, we may just have to keep doing these until we get them. They're not very likely, but they can happen. And that's just going to be what we're going to have to do. Because we have no chance of actually defeating these minions in fights. Yeah, this is escaping again. So that's going to kill us. Which is kind of unfortunate, because that actually gave us the best odds we were going to get for capturing it early. Bit of a pain, but we're just going to have to deal. At least it's possible. It's possible to capture them while they're on full health. So I'm going to... There's going to be a lot of going to Garai's house to heal. Oh, we're going to also have a forced dialogue with Mabu here, I think. Which I think we will actually take. We'll have the forced dialogue and we'll actually get the item from it. Should be a lot of mashing on my part if it's still an option. Yeah, she still wants to talk to us, so we'll I don't know why she gestures so much there. Yeah, we'll get the item from this, we'll equip that. Because it gives us a little bit of regen. A very small amount, but it may be relevant, so it's worth picking up. There we go. We were an active participant in a conversation with Mabu. The game rewards us for not being absolutely heartless. Yeah, the dragon doesn't really use magic, so we don't need the silver crown for this. So we'll switch to the Nagi belt. We also don't have seals anymore that are good against it, so... Just doing this to flip elements. So it should be earth again now. The earth one, I believe, does slightly less damage. And now we're just going to have to press the capture button. We're brute forcing it, it's our only option. We're going to be here for a hot minute, I think. It's escaping again. Stop escaping, get in the cocoon. I don't know what the percentage chance is, but I can tell you it's not good. It's not good odds. The regen is actually helping us, like, a very small amount. It'll at least give us one additional attempt before we are inevitably killed. Oh, we might have got it. Oh, thank God we got one. If only that were the end of it. Alright. So, I did not realize you could get caught on that at that point. We're gonna respawn him. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And we may as well go for another one. I have to heal before I try going for the Hambu anyway. And we want 2 of these, so I may as well try and capture it straight away. Our odds are technically slightly better now. I mean, it won't work. We won't capture it, but it's a theoretical time save. But only theoretical in the sense that it doesn't actually exist. So many capture attempts. That was 5 in total from our first attempt to capture one of these. Before we actually got one. Let's see how good our RNG is. Oh, Levant could do with a block right now, if I'm honest, dude. I'd really appreciate it if you would block the next one. Oh, I don't think we got it. And by I don't think I know we did. Yes. You can see if Levant's going to block fairly in advance from an actual hit. Okay, so let's go back to Mabu, get healed up. And then we'll start trying to capture the ones from the double fight. You only need one. You only need one, and then we have a minion. The squad, we got to keep telling ourselves that, so I can justify banging my head against the wall for this. There's actually other means we need to capture from here as well. Anyway, there's a lot of means we need to capture from a spider forest. All right, we're healed up. Oh yeah, we can't have, well, I was going to say we can't have children die, but there are children that literally turn to stone. So I guess we can have children die. Temporarily. Oh. I forgot there was a rad mole there. But to be fair, they're on the list. They're on the list, we do need one. By one I mean 2, we need 2 of them. I wouldn't actually have stopped off to capture this thing if they're not very strong. Radmoles. And anything we capture now is a capture we don't need to do later. Get in the cocoon. Something definition of insanity. I know we're becoming old, our hair's going grey. If we don't get the rat, okay, I think we got this one now. I was gonna say, if we didn't get it in the next few captures, we'd have to run before we got turned into stone ourselves. Game permits you to be turned into stone, but then it still somehow saves you from it, which is a bit weird. Like, we are turned to stone at that point. Oh, my brain didn't engage. That was a very dodgeable encounter. Oh, I can't wait to have a minion. I really want a minion at this point. We are actually invulnerable to that attack. The AI tries to do it, but we literally can't be hit by it. Because that's a critical, which uses the same resistance as the instant death spell, and Levant is immune to that. Hello, Poacher. We will not be fighting you. Actually, maybe we could. Sherick is fire. Chanced a great walnut. So this is the last minion we need. One of these. Now we do have seals which are good against them, but I kind of don't think it'll make a difference because I don't think we can damage them enough before we inevitably die to one of these two. So the amount of damage we're going to take is immense and very fast. So we just need to capture one and get out of here. Our flute music has improved. We don't suck as much at the flute. Will it help us capture minions? No, it won't. No, it won't. Thank God they're really slow. Please, I want a minion. I just want a minion. Oh, I'm not long for this world. Yeah, if any game would make me religious, it would be trying to capture minions at full health. This is the last attempt we get before we die, and we have to just come back again and try again. Let's get in the cocoon. Yes. Okay, now this one's going to kill us, rightfully so. We just stole its kin right in front of it. Oh, am I going to escape? We do have to capture another one of these. But I'm not... Okay. Maybe I should have just tried to capture that one too. I just wanted to use the hunter doing it be slightly faster. Alright, let's actually get a minion. Let's have a minion. If I remember how this is done. Be kind of embarrassing now to go. Let's go make Sherick and then be wrong about how you make Sherick. That would be pretty bad. I can't remember how old these characters are meant to be. I mean, they're obviously basically children. But I don't know how old they're actually meant to be. There's all our Paddle Chews and Horalcos. So, one Paddle Chew and Horalco. Actually, let's do it this way around. Make Horalco. Hideous thing. And now... Redugal Dog Hambu. Weird Fat Dragon. And now Horalco with Fat Dragon is Sherick. There we go. So you can see that it completely ignores the ingredient minions. It just goes, yeah, I'm fire now. And the stats just completely shift. And we get Sherick instead. Alright, we can actually equip. We can equip a minion. Yes, so now we're into a Jade Cocoon playthrough. We have one minion. We have one. Slight issue though. It's a very weak minion to physical attacks. And the minions we want to capture, i.e. this guy. Let's try a Dog Hambu first. We have better odds on capturing them because they're air. Yeah, we'll probably use Sherick to kill one of the Dog Hambus, and then weaken the other. Well, actually, maybe we do just weaken it. Yeah, we probably just weaken it. Alright. Actually have a minion. Doesn't have a lot of health and it has pitiful physical stats, but it's got magic. Not that these guys use magic. Oh, I also have instant death spell. That's a thing I have. That's pretty sick. Oh, instant death spell is... Oh, it hits both of them. I didn't even realize. I'm gonna defend. I did not realize instant death is also an AoE spell. I was gonna give it a go to see if I could kill the other one with it, but we actually want to capture the first one. So much more pleasant when you can actually damage the minions. Okay, giant fireball explosion for this one as well. I want to actually make sure we kill it. We're just going to poke it with our incredibly large beak. Alright, so now let's go capture a dragon from the front. And another mole. May as well pick up some... Is that valerian powder? The thing we normally sell because it's useless to us. We can soon be free of this torture of attempting to obtain minions and then actually have minions. Won't that be pleasant? Actually having minions. Yeah, Sherick's magic stats are actually they're really good. The magic stats. The problem is just that that's all they kind of have going for them. This one's water, so I don't really want to bother using Sherick on it. I just kind of want to see if I can capture it. It can't do too much damage to us. The flesh to stone's honestly the thing that's most dangerous to us. Yeah, it'd be almost like I was playing the game that I've been playing for an hour. I would draw like a comparison to the 1 minion only run. However, at least in that one I had agency on having a minion the entire time and using it with things I wanted to, instead of a shopping list of minions I had to capture before the challenge could even... Because like this is just set up for the challenge. This is still all just set up for the challenge basically. If we fail to capture this Rabmol soon, it actually will be a problem for us, and we'll have to run from it. Would you please get in the cocoon? Okay, we'll try one more time. And then we'll try to instant death spell it because I'm petty. I don't think the instant death spell will work, I just kind of want it to. For vindication purposes. Even our physical attacks, because we have them. Break legs, rend wings. We don't have any real physical attacks, so this doesn't actually help us like at all. Instant death spell. Oh, he lived. Defend. I still want to instant death spell him. This is 100% pointless. I just want to do it. I don't know what a Radmole's resistance is. I think it's like 30 mana per attempt for the instant death spell. It's not very nice on your mana. Yeah, it's 30. Pretty high. But to be fair, it is instant kill spell, so it does make sense. If this fails, I guess we'll switch back to Levant and try to run again. Okay. We may actually have a problem in that Levant could die here out of my stubbornness to capture this Radmole. Which wouldn't be the end of the world, to be honest, because we still have to capture the Radmole before we can finish the Spider Forest. Like, we do have to capture one of these. It is not negotiable, we do have to do it. Alright, we'll go get the dragon. I'm going to switch it to Earth Element though. There we go. Earth Dragon now. And yes, I will have to block with Sherick because I wasted all my mana trying to instantly kill the Radmole. I understand the punishment, and I accept it. I don't know how much damage this will actually do. Don't have elemental advantage. That's actually very good. Okay, so it's going to be 2 of those. Our Sherick might die in the process. Which, kind of par for the course, if I'm honest. It's pretty par for the course, having our minion die on us. Sherick ain't got no defense. Oh my god! If the Redugal killed Sherick a turn early, and then we just... Whew. Okay, yeah, Sherick is gonna die. I did say there would be death in this run, and then there you have it. There's death has happened because Sherick is pathetically weak. Which is why I wanted 2 of them, because we have to beat Poacher. And also in case we needed to use 2 to defeat Delphinel for whatever reason. Because if he uses the Earth attack, then Tweengos aren't going to be any good to us. I'm not too concerned about the fact that we lost EXP on the Sherick because it died. Because it's going to fight Shilias anyway in the Moth Forest, which are higher level. Right, so let's get Sherick number 2. Equip that also, and then we will capture that one Radmole and finish the Spider Forest. Right, so Paddlechew with Aralco with Paddlechew. I don't think it actually matters which way around you do this. It makes more visual sense to me that you do it this way around. Because you end up with things that are vaguely similar looking. Oh, there we go. I'm actually going to equip and then rearrange. There we go. Just get everything to the next to each other. I almost paid a visit to the village square again. I never learn. Village square or bust. Right, so that should be water, so let's flip it to earth because I want to capture an earth one. Because it'll be easier to do the damage necessary to weaken it. Instead of water. Why did I even bother trying to capture a water one? Let's capture an earth one, it's easy. Comparatively. We'll take the Nagi belt off once we are done capturing minions, just because it's just slowing things down a little bit. Oh yeah, so it'll be two of those attacks, and then we'll capture it, and then we'll have finished this forest. You're so weak, Sherick. No physical defense. Just nothing to speak of. Almost as bad as Ashes. Ashes are worse for their physical stats, but they have some real good speed, and they have a higher magic attack. Alright, nice. We can now wrong walk to the end of this forest. Assuming I don't mess that up. Oh, first try. I say it as if it's like that difficult to do, which it isn't. I just choke whenever I'm doing an any percent run. The wrong walks are just infinitely harder as soon as it matters that you do it quickly. Purely just a psychological pressure thing. Yeah, we had to do it in that order because as soon as we finish the spider forest, all the minions that are in here will disappear and we won't be able to capture them ever again. So I wouldn't be able to capture another radio mount or rad mole. Is it rad mole? Or is it tear mole? I think I remember. Yeah, it is now officially impossible for us to make another Sherick. We literally can't do it until post-game. We also can't make 3 Tweengos anymore because we'd have had to have caught at least one more radio mount. have killed the forest. We are a terrible person. I'm just going to talk to her, not because we're going to purify any minions. Well, we are purifying minions, but really I just want to make sure that we have 12 attempts. I mean, it freaked me out as well. I mean, it's human sacrifice. I think it's very understandable to be freaked out by the human sacrifice sequence. And the forest being destroyed and everything going horrifically wrong suddenly. I was freaked. I mean, yeah. I don't think any kid wouldn't be freaked out, if I'm honest. Right, everyone's stone. One thing I will say is good for the secret minions is they both have pretty good speed stats, and that's going to be very helpful to us. It's not immensely high, but I think it's the same as Arbitron's, possibly a little bit slower. Arbitron's is like 150 actually. Arbitron's is very high. I want to say they have at least 130 speed. Tweengo and Sherick. I lied, we aren't done with the spider forest. We need the spiders. And we are going to grab specifically the wind spiders. So it'll be fire spiders, which I think are like yolks, and then the wind ones, which are nevins. And we are going to capture wind ones because the fire ones have instant death spells. And I rather like having my minions be alive for the next sequence. So we're going to fight an air one. Also, actually, like, it is actually possible to still capture the original minions from this forest. I may try and demonstrate that. There's a bit of a trick to it. It's a bit weird, but I believe it is possible. Well, I was wrong when I said that. It's just You wouldn't be able to in normal play. So these guys both have sleep. Well, that's basically all they have. So I'm going to kill one with one Sherick, then I'm going to switch the other Sherick to weaken the other Levant. And then we're going to use Levant to hit it a couple times, then capture it. We do need to capture 2 of these, of course. But the level 10 Sheriff will probably have a better go at getting one to red fast. They'll probably be faster this way, I think. Well, probably not faster, safer, easier. I'm just going to peck at him a couple times. Alright, that should be low enough. I don't put me to sleep, that's just rude. Yeah, the spider species, all their elements have the secondary spells that you can get for their elements. So the water one has the healing spell Medina. The earth one, I think it has poison. I don't think that it has both poison and flesh to stone. But I think Earth actually has, the most in terms of secondary spells. The water one could also have the remove status condition ability. I'm not 100%. There should be a spider somewhere around here. There we go. I think they're always in pairs as well. Yeah, so I'm going to use this level 10 one now to hurt this top one, then I'm going to capture it, switch to my other shark, and kill the other one. That's the plan. Yes, that should be capturable now. And then we have 2 level 10 sharks. Not that the leveling matters too much, given that Shully is an easy prey anyway. And our level 10. Oh, they gave us turn on me. Oh, I woke up anyway. Nope, it's breaking out. We may need to poke it some more if we don't get it. Oh, cool, we got it. We only have 12 capture attempts in total for this entire sequence until we beat the Moth first. So it can be a little bit... Well, that's why I wanted to be a bit extra safe. Not that I think there was any real risk of us not managing it, but... Like, given we managed to capture the max health ones in about 5 attempts each, they would still manage it in theory if I just went straight for it, but I thought it'd be sensible to weaken them and just guarantee it. The other forests, by the way, are all still fine. The dragonfly and beetle forests are just fine. It is just the spider forest that is completely messed up. So on the way out, I'll see if I can demonstrate the method you can use to get to the old forest, because literally it's literally the same thing as, it's just you wrong warp again. So this is all one screen, so this isn't gonna do it. Let's find the transition screen from, yeah, so let's try this transition screen. So there's a spider there. Let's see, where's the line? There's the line, okay. We'll see if we can wrong warp. That's early. That's also early. That might be right there. No? I might still be a bit early, to be honest, but it doesn't matter too much if I can't do it. Ah, okay, we missed it, but whatever. If you it doesn't matter too much. But if you wrong warp in that forest, not with the purpose of going to the back side of that warp pool, but it'll take you to the original version of the forest for that one screen, and then as soon as you go to a different screen, it'll switch back to the dead forest. It's a bit weird. It like forgets that it's meant to be the dead version of the forest for 2 seconds. I think this is, oh, it's an Asher. Okay, I'm going to switch elements. I want to fight wind ones, not fire. I need these minions to be not over leveled as such, but I need them to be a bit tougher than they are, on account of the fact that Gigoat has neutral attack plus power, and I don't have any physical defense or health. So I've mentioned before that health and mana are strictly determined by one thing, and it's the same for all minions. So because me and this Shillia, my Sherick and Shillia, both have the same health, I can say for a fact that Shillia has 63 mana. Because we're at the same level. Alright, time to get to a poking match. Shillias are actually even less physically inclined than Sherick, so. One problem is we won't get our mana back from doing this. Fighting Shillias like this. We don't recover quite enough mana for it to work our way back up to max mana. So we are going to need to use liquors to do it. But I want to go over here first, so we can fight these Shillias for a little bit extra. I want both my Sharks to be at least level 11. I think if I like alternate between the two Sherricks, then we do manage to get our way back up to full health. It would just be fighting an awful lot of Shillias. I'm just gonna see how much damage we do with the level 11. If we one-shot the Shulia, then I may do that, but otherwise, probably not. Okay. So you take one magic attack from the Shulia, which we generate enough health per fight to get that back. I think I just get this one Sherick to level 12 so that we don't waste the fight, as it were, and then we heal them both up and go fight Poacher. There should be a Shulia over here. Not guaranteed, but there might be. Yeah, there we go. So we'll have a level 12 Sherick and a level 11. To be fair, as soon as we're done with this forest, I'm ditching one of the Shericks anyway. For the foreseeable, well, not for the foreseeable future. It depends on how performant they are, how performant Tweengo is with the Delphinel fight. They won't be used in the Dark Beetle Forest. I can say that much for sure. They just don't have the health or the defense necessary. While the damage output is good, it's not fantastic. There was a reason why we spent so much time merging minions in the magic minions only. Oh, oh my god. He spooked me. I forgot he spawns right there, and I just ran straight into him. Got spooked by a minion that won't fight you unless you fight it. We can pretend that didn't happen. I'm gonna use the sleep spores as well here. Actually. Sleep spores. Fine liquor should be enough for this. You're at full health. Okay. Let's see how we do. It's the only fight we have to clear for this forest, so like all the capturing the Shericks, aside from capturing the other materials necessary for Tweengo, has been for this singular purpose. And then, you know, later probably Delphinel. Probably. We're gonna poke him. Poke him with our beak. That's also one of the reasons why it's going to be a bit of a pain. Once we're out of mana, we can no longer do significant amounts of damage without healing up the Shericks. Oh god, we take so much damage. We do a lot, which is good. Though this Gigoat hasn't actually used its ability yet. I'm gonna have to switch to the other one. Oh, sick. I might not need to switch to the other one. If it hit us with that, we would have, absolutely. But because it didn't, we don't need to. Yeah, I think we probably could have gotten away with just the one Sherick for this, but I'd rather have had two in case we need two later. In case the two Tweengos isn't enough to take down Delphinel on account of being weak to him. Because I don't think one Sherick beats Delphinel ever. I just don't think it does. I just think it doesn't. Couple wouldn't be enough, and Delphinel has so much physical power. I'm just double defending so I can get the mana back so we can finish off this poacher. Instant death spell, of course, does not work against any bosses. Well, it works against Eternal Corridor bosses. Except, well, actually, I think Kolna can be killed by it, but it's like 1% chance. It's like tiny, tiny odds for it to hit Kolna, or possibly invulnerability. But I think you actually can kill him with it, but the odds are just in the ground. At least I think that's the case. I don't actually. Kolna has some weird resistances to like several things that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Where it's like, instead of complete immunity, it's 1. Like the damage multiplier is 1 instead of the regular 48 or whatever. 24, 48. No, isn't it? It's 3264. Yeah, it's 3264, that's the normal. Weak attacks do 16, strong regular do 32, and then strong do 64. With regards to elemental resistances. And then you have other numbers for regular attack, drain, poison, flesh to stone, sleep. But those all have their own resistance values on minions. And then Kolna, I think, has like 1 for a lot of those. Not all of them. I think Kolna still takes full damage from sleep, for example. But it's a little bit funky. It's a little bit strange. So once we get in here, we should have all the ingredients necessary to create Tweengos. Sherick requires 4 different minions, Tweengo requires 3. Which is Jutting Jaw has 6 legs and has sharp claws. Translating to the Nevin family, the Paddlechew family again, and the Radiomels. Respectively. It does make me wonder if there was an intention at some point. So obviously, like, the minion fusion in this game is fully dynamic. I wonder if there was an intention at some point for there to just be fusions of minions that created new minions, which were presets. Because Tweengo and Sherick are obviously based on the appearance of minions that you could actually make, right? Like, if you merge a Hiralka with a Dog Harmbu, like, straight out, it does actually look fairly close to Sherick. Not amazingly, but, like, close enough that you can sort of see how they got from that to Sherick. And the same is true with, if you merge a Nevin with a Radiomel. It does look fairly like Tweengo. Or Tweengo, rather. And You can clearly see how they got from A to B. But I don't know if they just like ran out of disk space, decided that the dynamic system was cooler. Which, to be fair, I think it is, personally, but... Or whatever it was. Possibly, like, model sizes causing problems. Since, you know, this game is pretty old. I mean, the banner I use on the side says 1999, but that was a specific release version. The original, I think, is 97. Possibly 98, but I think it's 97 for like the very first release ever. Anywhere in the world. Alright, let's go get Tweengo. As soon as we're allowed to move. Get Tweengo, go shopping, go into the dark. Beetle Forest. I'd rather get both Tweengos. I would quite like both. So, I'm going to do this by merging Powerful Chew with Radio Mel, then Nevin with that. I don't think it matters which way around to do it. I'm just doing it in the order that makes the most sense to me. In terms of looking more like Tweengo. Right, so Powerful Chew with... It doesn't matter, the elements don't matter either. So Paddle Chew with Radio Mel, so Jutting Jaw and Sharp Claws. Then Nevin with that. There we go. And now our Fire, Earth and Air minion is now Water instead. Because that's how that works. And looks like this instead. One of the downsides we do have is that Tweengo is, of course, a level 10, which we acquired at level 10. So the attack stat is... Controller went again. Is that... The attack stat is lower than it could be. Than if we had, say, a level 1 Tweengo that we had. But this is literally the lowest level you can ever acquire a Tweengo at. While doing it legitimately. So this Sherick is actually slightly stronger than the other one, so we're going to use that one. And this Tweengo is slightly stronger than that one. So you do get like some variation when it happens. It's a bit weird, but whatever. I guess it's because their stats are slightly randomly assigned. Though there are elements of randomness to it. The same way you end up with like good Mardregs and bad Mardregs, just based on how their stats grew and what their starting stats were. The variance is always within 1 point, at least. To begin with. don't know why I went into that menu. I don't have any money. Skeleton keys. That was a curry powder, okay. So we don't want any of this anymore. None of this. We don't need these great walnut either. Let's sell the special liquors. That should be largely enough. It might be a bit close. We're going to be a bit short, I think. But we have some things that we particularly want in the form of these speed increasing items. We'll sell the silver crown for a bit more money. Buy 3 sleep spores, 2 mirrors of Dema, a bunch of meta mugwort, please, and then yeah, like 6 fine. That'll be fine. Okay, I think we're right. So we have 2 level 10 Tweengos. We kind of want them to be, you know, level 12-ish. We may not need both to take down Turtles, but Arbitron at level 10 comparatively has much better attack, I believe, than these Tweengos. Or Tweengos. Arbitron's attack stat is actually lower than Tweengos, base 1. But I think the difference from raising an Arbitron from level 1 comparative to obtaining a Tweengo at level 10, which is essentially what's happened, is a significant enough of a difference. We'll be able to tell based on how much damage we do to this Suave. So if the Suave goes to like 26 health, then it's roughly comparable to Arbitron. If not, then it's weaker. Yeah, it's weaker. Poke. We do have a similar kind of speed to Arbitron, but Arbitron, a level 11 Arbitron kills the Suave with the second attack there. But to be fair, a level 11 Tweengo probably also does. So I'm pretty sure this is weaker than an Arbitron of the same level. We get another test here, of course, because there's another Suave, and we want level 12 Tweengos. So I don't think Turtles is going to be a hard fight. Given that one level 12 option can take down Turtles, and we have water attacks, so we have a similar setup, except we have a second minion, which makes it theoretically even easier. We do have okay, that kind of ruined the test a little bit by the fact that we critical hit there, but I'm pretty sure we would have killed it regardless. But I still think it's closer than when Arbitron does it, so yeah, we'll get both Tweengos to level 12. We'll Deva's mirror one of them. When it gets weak, we switch to the other one. If they're both weak, we then switch back to Levant. We heal the first one, use that one again. And that's how the fight's going to go, and it should be very straightforward. This Pat Dreg will do. We'll use this to get the other one to level 12. There should be another Pat Dreg further on. We could get a level 13 one, just for the sake of it. Which I think I will do, actually. It seems needless to not. May as well. crab. We are going to fight all of the Earth boss ghosts because we want as higher level as possible. Anytime we're doing a run where we're not using what I would consider the standard minions, which we know work, I want to get them as higher level as possible. So I need to think about when I want to use the sleep spores so that I have one left over at least, specifically for the purpose of escaping the last Earth boss room, where the snake and where there's a Carmine and a Turpara. That fight's a pain. There you go. That was definitely worth it. That was +2 attack. So yeah, I'll sleep spore him when I get to the next room. Like, as soon as I go through here, I'll sleep spore. Then I use one sleep spore for the Dragonfly Forest, and then one in the one in the Spider Forest to escape that Earth boss fight. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna try the wrong warp that exists in this forest, because I never do it. But I think I know where it is. It's like right there, right? So I'm gonna try it just because I want to get practice down. Just want to practice it. So I think it's like there. It might be a bit far back, but I think it's there. Nice. First try. That was pretty good. I will Shablicker this. Tweengo back to full health and mana. That was actually very easy to do. I know I went forward, but that's got a very clear visual marker, I think. And I know that's not the setup that's used in the NTSC run. I know that's not the setup used there, but that is very easy to do there. Right. Deva's Mirror, the stronger of the two. If you have a high level Sherick here, you might actually be able to one-shot the fire boss by just magic fire on him. He's got a lot of speed, which I think is the thing that would stop you. Because you need to be able to switch to the minion and then still have a turn. So fire boss is probably actually the hardest of the 3 bosses to one-shot. Wind boss and earth boss both aren't the hardest, as long as you have the right element plus power. Here comes Poison Tail. I think the highest damaging attack Turturus has on us is Fire Magic Attack, if I'm honest, even though he's at an elemental disadvantage for it. I think Tweengo's resistance is that much worse, but that's actually probably his strongest attack. Because the Poison Tail does not do much damage at all to us. Tweengo has lots of physical defense. Oh, it's a tourist block, that's very rude. Oh, and he's stealing our mana. We're gonna have to switch into the other Tweengo anyway. If he steals our mana again, we'll have to switch to Levant. I'm not too... Probably could have foregone the Deva's Mirrors, if I'm honest. We're not taking any real physical damage from those Poison Tails. So this is probably the highest damaging attack he has. Oh no, it's also okay. Yeah, Taurus is just not very good against Twingos at all. I underestimated the severity of the damage debuff from us being water, receiving a fire attack. Yeah, we're gonna have to switch to Levant. And also, kill the first Twingo. Levant can take at least a hit. This one attack should kill him, to be honest. Like, it wasn't entirely necessary, but I didn't have the mana, and he could. Every time he blocked, he could mana drain. It would just be really annoying and slow. We'll do a water attack, and then we might switch to. We might switch to Sherick to finish off the fire boss, just to be more efficient in terms of EXP. Okay, we got 10 die. Good. Revival item. Very important to us. Oh, and now we get to see something really funny. So because we wrong walked in the dark beetle forest, we get this. We are completely invisible. There we go. And now it does the re-entry animation, and now we are visible again. It's just a funny, weird little glitch you get. On all of my runs, because you do that for the Dark Spider Forest, if you do load one of those games to go to the Eternal Corridor, it will also happen then, for the exact same reason. So Sleep Spore here. I'm gonna rearrange my a little bit. Excuse me, I would like to leave. Thank you. hopefully we won't need to do this strong warp again. If I get that Sherick to level 19 or whatever, we may, and then we end up dying or whatever reason because we need the other Sherick as well, I may just try and kill the wind boss. Just so I don't have to do that wrong warp repeatedly, because I just don't like doing it a lot. It's not hard to do consistently, I just don't like the idea of having to go in and out of that forest constantly. Oh, can you guys please leave me alone? Back off. Thank you. Slightly slow. My precision's a lot. Come on. Might be a little early if I'm honest. That looks a little early to me, but might be fine. Yep, it's fine. Never trust it. Keeps being fine. Never trust it. Right. Let's get Tweengo up first. The higher level Tweengo up first, I should specify. Should be trivial. Maybe not if we get critical hit a lot. But you have to get a lot of critical hits and we get double turns anyway. You'd also have to block us. Oh, great walnut, nice. I always appreciate essentially a healing item, or what is essentially a healing item. Alright, that's one. Go to number 2, and we'll level up Sherick on that one. We have to fight this thing first. We'll just try and run. I have no real reason to fight this. We'll try to instant death the oh come oh, it didn't matter anyway. It was already too late. Well, there is another ogre and we have to go around anyway. It's fine. A little annoying, but it's fine. Yeah, there's one over here. I'm hoping it's gonna be asleep. Sleep right in the way, isn't it? Good to know that doesn't help there. Sherick is probably going to be the liability for the fight against Kashidra. Much like how the Earth counterpart was, sorry, the Wind counterpart was in the random minion run. In all likelihoods. So use the higher level one to weaken him, then finish him off with the Sherick. Defend. Tweengo doesn't change all that much while leveling up. I don't think either of the secret bosses do. Sorry, secret minions do, if I'm honest. They kind of look the same all the way through their growth. I think Sherick's bottom jaw like juts even more as it gets older and it becomes more round. Alright, let's go to that last one. I'm aware I used my last sleep spores, but it's fine. Turb powers are particularly susceptible to the instant death spell. Which one was popping its head out of a pot? Oh, I'll see if I get around it. Apparently not. Gotta turn on us. There'll be two spirals that we'll have to fight, so this seems like a good opportunity to get this Tweengo to level 20. Yeah, L2 shot the spiral. I think this Tweengo must probably now has higher attack than an Arpatron of equivalent level. Actually, no. What am I on about? It's still lower. I'm thinking of a comparison to an Arpatron that's level 15. Because that's what you have at this point in the 80% stage. Well, yeah, Arpatron only does 200 to a fire spiral. But that's a level 15 Arpatron, not a level 19 one. completely forgetting about that. Brain not found, brain not engaged. Considering the constraints in this run, we're actually not doing too badly on time. I gotta wait for the snake. And go, go, go. Yeah, we'll use this one. So we got one level 20. I don't know how far we'll go with regards to getting them all to level 20. We don't need them all at level 20. What we need is the lowest level one to be the one that finishes off either Delphinel or Earth Boss. And then the only one that doesn't... Ooh. I did a bit more than I was expecting. I was just copying what I did for the Sherick fight. I forgot that we've gained level 1 Tweengo, so I nearly killed him without leveling up our level 12. Yeah, we need the... So small. Okay, like, he gets bigger obviously, but he doesn't change shape very much. I always get, if you see like a high level minion compare it to a small one, I always forget just how large the difference is. There we go. 47, that's actually not too bad. It's not amazing. I don't know why I did that. I need to actually use the Great Walnut that we picked up to heal Levant. That's actually a thing I need to do now. And now we have the fights that we can't really dodge of the snakes here. I think even if, well, to be fair, it might still be dodgeable. Just wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can dodge it, you just have to wait for the same duration again. That's fine. That's chill. So it would be, you know, if Sherick killed Delphinel, then we'd need the level 19 Tweengo to get the finishing shot on the Earth Boss himself. And that would be roughly equivalent. Seeing if I get the dodge. I cannot. I'm gonna get hit by the gyro now as punishment. So part of me is wondering if level 19 is a little too low to be fighting Delphinel with these minions. I don't know if it is or not. This is largely going to come down to RNG, if I'm honest, though. Well, that's definitely early. Yeah, this is going to come down to RNG. I think that might actually still be too early. Yeah, it is. I guess we'll fight it. We'll fight Wind Boss. Why not? That'll be a good litmus test for whether or not we are actually strong enough to take down Earth Boss. Yeah, no real reason not to. We get another revival item potentially out of it as well. I should hope level 19s can take down the level, Actually, what level is? Level 17? I think Wind Boss is level 17? I can never remember. I fight Cetarian so rarely. Yeah, if we try and we fail to beat Cetarian for whatever reason with our level 20 minions, then yeah, we probably aren't strong enough to take down the Earth Boss. But I generally think Earth Boss is actually sorry, paid camera stuff. I generally think Cetarian is actually harder than Delphinel. Like even with the level advantage that we have on Cetarian, I still think they're harder. Because sleep is that much better of a status condition. It's way stronger. Like obviously we don't use a Deva's Mirror against Cetarian when we do this, because I never buy one, since I'm not planning on fighting Cetarian from the off, but I think fighting a Cetarian without a Deva's Mirror is harder than fighting Delphinel without a Deva's Mirror. I think with a Deva's Mirror, none of them are that bad, to be honest. Cetarian's still probably the harder one of them, though. Kinda hard to tell. Definitely not with the level disparity, though. If you've already wrong warped to get that many more levels ahead of Cetarian and then go do it, yeah, obviously it's easier. When you're doing a with Deva's Mirror fight. Yeah, we'll actually get the Wind Jewel. I always wondered why the camera angle changes back. I think it's just so you can see his pose of the Wind Boss. It must just look better at that angle. Yes, I still hate the fact that he's called the Wind Boss, but the element is called Air. So his name's wrong. It should be Air Boss. And I blame him solely for why I confuse, or not why I always say wind when I mean air. Because he's called the Wind Boss. Oh wait, Cetarian goes first? Jesus. That's not nice. I guess because I switched and then I got a turn, right? So I should get 2 turns now, right? That's how that works, that'd be fair. Nope. Well, so long as Cetarian doesn't do sleep, I don't care. Sleep is what, like, if Cetarian uses sleep, then this Sherick is going to be dead. It will not be long for the world. Also, it lacks the mana to actually kill Cetarian. I actually don't have enough mana to finish Cetarian off. I have to block to get the mana to finish off Cetarian. That's silly. That is just silly. Level 19 doesn't have enough mana to kill Cetarian. And that's why you give your minions both the tier 2 and the tier 1 magic. Also, I think Windboss might just one-shot Sherick now. Well, I was almost right. That was pretty close. Oh, I should. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the level 19 Tweengo. There we go. If they level up, then Cetarian's level 19. But I have no idea. Find out. Oh, they're level 18. Because we got half an experience bar for each of them. Good to know. You know that's not actually a pot, right? What that is its physical body is just a pot. In a shape. A pot shape. But it isn't actually a pot. He says that to us as if we haven't already been in the Dark Spider Forest. I have now opened the gate to the... No, there was a gate. There was a gate already. Just wasn't where you thought it was. I mean, that's fair. The actual minion family absolutely does look like they're like little demons inside a pot rather than a pot themselves. As it were. Oh, we got 2 to level 19, we may as well have them kill a level 18 to get the final way, but let's hopefully correctly do the wrong warp to start off. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this spiral will do fine. We'd have to fight it anyway. So the Trigaran... Trigaran's gonna hurt. It's not gonna be pleasant to have to kill the Trigaran. It's gonna do a lot of damage. But we need this Tweengo to kill that spiral. And the Trigaran shouldn't get... The spiral should die and then the Trigaran will get its first turn. How much damage is this going to do? A lot. So do I just block? If I block, I should be able to reduce the amount of damage it does, right? And it should still use the magic anyway. Yeah, we'll just block. We'll just block until it doesn't have mana, and then punch it in its stupid face. I don't think it'll have any more than that. It should just have the 3, but I will check. Yeah, it's out of mana. Plus critical? Probably just use regular attacks, to be honest. This one's not worth any EXP to us, really. We just wanted to kill the spiral. That one's actually worth something to us. There you go, got 2 level 20s. They're pretty much identical. One of them's slightly faster and slightly better magical defense. There's nothing good for the Sherick to fight that's level 18 though. We'd have to get it to kill... Okay. We'd have to get it to kill a spiral. But the problem with that being... that comes with a fight which has this... Oh god. Okay. We might die here because... fail to escape. We don't live Dragaran magic with Levant. Oh, it's the triple encounter. If I touch that dog para. Okay, let's just heal everyone up, and I think... Oh, you don't need healing. We'll heal you. And I guess we give it a go like this. It's worth a shot. So obvious worry here is that we're forced to use 2 water minions and a fire minion. And the fire minion isn't physically oriented. If we were using a physical fire minion, or a more physical fire minion I should say, I'd think this was fine. The reason I don't is largely due to the fact that we're going to run out of mana on that minion, and it is not going to kill Delphinel in exchange for all that mana. The mana difference, the consumption of the mana, like, it's also worse the fact that it's tier 2 magic. Tier 1 magic would be better, because in terms of total damage versus mana consumption, you get way more from tier 1 magic. Our Sherick can attack 4 times, and then it's... Sorry, 3 times even. It can't even do a 4th one, so it's not level 20. And then it's out of mana. And that's an issue. So I'm actually going to send in a Tweengo first. And I'm going to Devil's Mirror the Tweengo. As long as Delphinel doesn't use magic, which is kind of a tall order, as long as Delphinel doesn't use magic, this is actually better than using the fire minion. But we need Delphinel to not cast magic. I've had Delphinels that don't use magic. I need this to be one of them. Okay, that's fine. Don't mind that. Yeah, it's like double 10 should come up. We'll have a few of those potentially, depending on how much damage we take. I don't know what percentage Delphinel's abilities are weighted at, if it's a third for each. Oh, that's very good. That's a lot of we've got a lot of double 10s. This Tweengo is about to be out of mana though, so I'm going to get much more out of it. We can defend once. Okay, so this is useful because this will tell us how much damage the next Tweengo will take. I believe that's best described as all of the life. That's just all of it. Right, let's see how Sherick performs. That does not do a lot. That just does not do a lot of damage. I think we get the 3 hits out with Sherick, we switch to our last Tweengo, and then we use that to finish off Delphinel. Turning into stone is going to be an issue. That's the only thing. I don't think I have enough turns to... I can... You know what? If it's to be, then this will work, and Sherick will live. If it's not to be, Sherick will die from the flesh to stone, or the earth boss physical attack. Okay, cool. We actually got Sherick to survive that. If I wanted to be safe, I could have switched out, but I wanted Sherick to get to level 21. Because otherwise it was going to be a liability for the Kashidra fight. Okay, that was I think we got lucky there. We got lucky that Delphinel only used 1 earth magic attack. I think if Delphinel was cruel to us, he would have earth magic attacked like our first Tweengo like immediately, and then physically messed up Sherick and then done it again to our other Tweengo, and then we'd be kind of stuffed. That's probably as good as we could have gone. Okay, so we have three revives. Got 3 revives for this. But that water laser is going to hurt. A lot. And I don't even know if that Sherick will survive for when it's past its own element. Like, if Kashidra stays in Earth for any length of time, I think our Sherick just dies to Kashidra. Even if Kashidra's like air, I think the Sherick will still die at that point. And then we're going to have a conundrum of being stuck on Tweengo when Kashidra goes to Earth, and then we probably have to sacrifice a Tweengo as well. Oh my god, that's the 4th time. I can only apologize for that happening constantly. It like decides to disconnect and then immediately reconnect. And I haven't worked out how to get the recording software to streaming software to exclude that particular kind of system sound, since it's just capturing desktop audio. Okay, here we go. Sherick will of course be first up because it's Earth and I don't want one of my Twingos to die instantly. So we're gonna have got four fire attacks on this Sherick in total. That does not do a whole lot. Okay, Earth Magic. We prefer Earth Magic to Earth Physical. Actually, if Kashira Earth Physical, Sherick might just die instantly now. Okay, we're gonna defend because I want Kashira to switch to air. Jesus Christ. I genuinely think Sherick would have died to that. We might be better off now because, okay, okay, air magic, we like that, we like that. Once Kashidra switches to Earth, if this Sherick is still alive, I'm actually going to switch to a Tweengo now, and then I'm going to block. Because I want that Sherick to be alive, if nothing else but to be a body in the way of the Kashidra from hitting our Twingos. Okay, we're doing alright so far. I was hoping for a long fire phase. If we had long fire, we might be able to kill Kashidra in the water phase. Yeah, if Kashidra doesn't heal now, I think we get a kill in water. Okay, the laser is nowhere near as scary as I thought it might be. Okay, we're good. We're good here. The Sherick could have died, which would have potentially been a liability, but I don't think it's too hard. Okay, next hit. This is basically now the exact same power as an Arbitron, actually. It's very close in terms of damage. We blocked. We're gonna have to switch to the other Twingo. This one doesn't have mana. Yeah, we still have a fresh minion. I mean, obviously it's basically over at this point anyway, but... I think I was right to pick two Twingos and a Sherick. I think two Sherricks actually would have not been doable, or just a lot harder, particularly the Delphinel fight. If we had, you know, slightly worse luck. There we go, so you have two level 23 Twingos and level 21 Sherick. But there you go, that is Jade Cocoon. But I'm only using secret minions without merging them beyond that point. So there's a fair bit of luck in that those last two fights. We got lucky that Kashidra missed on that Earth physical attack, which I'm pretty sure would have just taken Sherick right out of the fight. we needed that Sherick to make sure that our Twingos would have been safe when we should have went back to Earth. We had 3 revival items. Like, it wasn't as close as it could, like, as it may have seemed, really, when it comes down to it. But it was much cleaner than it could have been, is I suppose what I'm saying. I think the hard part was largely just getting set up. The setup took ages. Just to capture the minions. It was literally half the runtime. It was just obtaining those minions so I could actually fight things with minions. But there we go, that was pretty decent. And I hope I never have to do that again. Kind of demonstrates why the Levant only run would absolutely suck. Because as soon as you get to the Spider Forest, suddenly you can't beat anything. Until you've farmed 1,000,000 Great Walnuts from Petal Chews in the Beetle Forest or something.
When the 4 divine barriers are dispelled, the power of light and darkness shall usher in the time of gathering.
Yeah, 23612.
Kumari and Kaya, the guardian deities.
It's about what I
of
expected,
light
if
and
I'm honest.
darkness,
Most of my
shall be
challenge
released
runs
by the
end up
twin
being around
dragons
2
of
hours
September.
30.
The chosen ones of light
Like
and
over or
darkness
under
shall
by
meet,
10 minutes or so.
and only then will the accursed ones be granted repose.
Just due
And
to the
man
amount of
shall
capturing you have to do,
obtain yet
really.
another fruit of knowledge, but it shall bear the seeds
And to be fair, we would have
of
cut about,
responsibility.
you know, 15-20 minutes off if we just didn't miss that wrong warp. We actually did pretty good. We missed 1 wrong warp in that entire run. Oh, the Levant only run would take so long though. I'd be here for days, literally. Yeah. I could like modify the memory addresses to like juice up Levant 8 like really early on. Then it wouldn't be a legitimate Levant only run anymore. The only way to do it legitimately is to farm Petal Chews or other Beetle Forest sort of strength minions for their Great Walnuts. Not kikinak because it takes too many items per. Even though kikinak has a 60% chance of dropping a Great Walnut, the fact that you need to heal during that fight constantly, if you want to do it with just punching him in the face with Levant, makes him not very viable. You're better off farming Petal Chews and then capturing them and then selling them and selling the minion silk and going in and capturing more, because you can do way more fights way faster that way. Yeah, that was about as difficult as I had anticipated. So Levant is Alpatron. Well, Alpatron only is absolutely doable. Absolutely. One unmerged Alpatron. It's gonna be Shidra and Delphinel are gonna be horrific. Absolutely horrific to try and do that with just one Alpatron. You'd need to overlevel so hard. Kikinak vs Levant is very satisfying when you are using seals, because it's not the closest in terms of like an exact amount in terms of killing it, but like Kikinak almost kills you and then you pretty much exactly kill Kikinak. Oh yeah, the story. Yeah, that's fairly valid. That's pretty valid. All right, there we go. So next week we are doing the bosses only run, and then we'll start doing Nuzlockes after that. So next week, every single fight we're going to have is going to be a boss fight, but we are going to be allowed to capture the boss minions and use them, because otherwise it turns into Levant only run, except everything's a boss, which I think is then actually straight up impossible. I think that is, well, yeah, I think that actually is impossible. I don't think there are any well, it would depend on the luck. It depends on the luck of where each boss spawns. There's definitely configurations of that where it's impossible. Um, or functionally impossible, where you'd have to have Levant block every attack. That's what we're doing next week. Um, yeah, so this was a pretty good run. I'd have liked to have not missed that wrong warp, so we didn't have to fight the air boss or wind boss. And yeah, it'll be exact same day of the week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. as I always do. And that's gonna be very interesting. I'm actually not sure which boss minion I want the most, because a lot of them are actually not very useful for fighting main game bosses, at least with how they are by default. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I'm going to randomize where all the bosses spawn, and then we're just going to do a run, and we're going to see how far we get and where we end up. It's definitely doable. I mean, I think it's more of a showcasing thing more than anything else, but it's gonna be a fun run. There's gonna be a lot of boss music, since every single fight is gonna trigger it. Yes, thanks for watching. I hope to see all you guys back here next week same time, and I'll schedule that stream in probably like just after I go off here, actually, to be fair, because I've already got that ready. All right, see you guys.